Very warm welcome to everyone. In today's video, we will be discussing the various expectations from the budget 2023 with respect to the industrial sector. Towards the end of the video, we will also be discussing the actual outcomes from the budget 2023. So let's get on with it. To keep the economy on an upward trajectory, the government is likely to concentrate on several different issues while handling the union budget for the fiscal year 2023-2024. The budget provides many incentives and benefits to the industrial sector every year. While generating new jobs and reducing poverty is a priority for the Modi government, ahead of the elections, his government faces an uphill task in maintaining fiscal prudence, a key metric watched by investors and rating companies. The industry experts have certain expectations from the budget. Let's see what they are. First, benefits to the micro, small and medium enterprises. The MSMEs are expecting an easier line of credit, which is one of their essential requirements since their working capital gets choked because of challenges in the supply chain and delayed payments. There is an expectation that the budget 2023 may revamp the credit guarantee scheme for micro and small enterprises. The government may also announce a full-fledged integration of eShram, Udyam, National Career Services and ASEEM portals in the budget. As you can see, there are a vast multitude of industries which form the industrial sector in India. Industries are important for the development of any nation and they form the backbone of our economy. Investors and taxpayers both want additional tax benefits and lower tax rates. The government may raise the income tax exemption level from the current rupees 2.5 lakh in the budget. The move, if it fructifies, may leave more disposable income in the hands of the consumers. It will also boost consumption, which may also lead to an economic recovery, some sources have said. As of now, the maximum slab of income which is not chargeable to income tax is rupees 2.5 lakh. The PhD Chamber of Commerce and Industry has requested the government to extend the scope of employee stock ownership plan taxation reforms to startups. The statement from PhD CCI said for startups, ESOPs are the key to attract and incentivize talent. These should not be taxed as recipients do not have ready cash in their hands at that point and the taxation should be on the final sale of shares, the industry body said. On taxing capital gains tax, the industry body said about rationalizing the existing surcharges on long-term capital gains and short-term capital gains taxes. It also said to consider extended tax exemptions for sunrise and other essential categories. Now we will be discussing the various industrial and sectoral SOPs. First, fertilizers. India aims to cut spending on food and fertilizer subsidies to 3.7 trillion rupees in the fiscal year from April, down 26% from this year, some government officials have claimed, to rein in a fiscal deficit that ballooned during the COVID-19 pandemic. Food and fertilizer subsidies alone account for about 1/8 of India's total budget. But reductions in food subsidies in particular may prove politically sensitive with elections looming on the horizon. Second, health. Industry body PhD CCI said the health budget should be increased by 30 to 40% as there is a growing need for health facilities and infrastructure across the country. Third, electric vehicles. The Society of Manufacturers of Electric Vehicles has sought an extension of subsidies for EVs under the FAME 2 scheme. The industry has also sought the inclusion of light to heavy commercial vehicles in it to promote electric mobility. Fourth, jewelry. The Commerce Ministry has sought a reduction in the import duty on gold in the forthcoming budget with a view to push exports and manufacturing of gems and jewelry sector. Fifth, aluminium. Industry Body Association has sought reduction in basic customs duty and correction of inverted duty structure on critical raw materials for the aluminium industry as high import duties is a huge disadvantage for the sector which is heavily dependent on imported raw materials. Fourth, expansion of the PLI scheme. The Product Linked Incentive Scheme has the potential to take India's exports to a new height while diversifying exports. The government may enhance the PLI exposure and expand them to potential upcoming industries for boosting exports. The existing PLI schemes are limited to corporates and large companies in specified sectors. There is an expectation that the Budget 2023 may extend the PLI schemes to identified sectors and MSMEs in manufacturing to boost exports. Fifth, implementation of the National Logistics Policy. There is an expectation of implementing the National Logistics Policy in this budget. The NLP will ease bottlenecks and reduce costs. India's logistics cost is around 14% of its GDP. The government should decrease the logistics cost to 8 to 10% of the GDP to bring it to par with other developing countries. There is an expectation that the budget will focus on cost management in the logistics industry. Now we will be discussing some important practice questions from examination point of view. Please pause the video and try to answer the questions on your own first. The solutions to various questions have been given in the later part of the video. Answers to the previous MCQs. Indian economy questions in UPSC Mains 2021. Now we will be discussing the actual outcomes from the budget 2023. The fifth budget of Modi 2.0 announced on 1st February is a big booster for taxpayers, railways, job creation and capex. Union Finance Minister Nirmala Sitharaman presented the Union Budget 2023 as the last full-fledged budget before the next general election in 2024. Sitharama, during the budget session, stated that the Indian economy is on the right path and heading towards a bright future, calling this year's budget as the first budget of the Amrit Kal. The following themes highlighted in the Budget 2023 can fast-track manufacturing's contribution to 25% of India's GDP. First, Sustained focus on capital expenditure. The budget announced highest ever proposed capital expenditure of INR 10 lakh crore in fiscal year 24, 33% higher than the last year. In addition to that, existing PLI schemes will continue to drive investment in manufacturing and industrial sectors. The push for increased capex outlay will have a multiplier effect on Indian economy by accelerating domestic manufacturing growth, generating employment, and enabling India to become center for manufacturing for the world, which has already shown significant growth in the recent years after the wave of global supply chain diversification. Secondly, push on logistics and infrastructure development. As a part of 7-point agenda for the budget, FM announced multiple logistics and infrastructure development initiatives including setting up 100 critical projects for ports, coal, steel, fertilizers and food grain sectors with investment of INR 75,000 crore. Logistics and infrastructure development will enable ease of doing business in India and position her well as a manufacturing destination through efficient transportation of raw materials and finished goods domestically as well as for exports. This push in infrastructure development is going to have a substantial impact on expansion in manufacturing sectors such as steel, cement and construction. Third, building manufacturing ecosystems through MSMEs. MSMEs are the growth engine for any economy and they have been supported by growth in credit by 30% since January 2022. In the current budget, the government announced infusion of INR 9,000 crore in the credit guarantee scheme, relief measures and taxation benefits along with compliance complexity reduction. These measures will support building manufacturing ecosystems and the network of Tier 2 and Tier 3 suppliers and create employment for skilled and semi-skilled workforce in the micro, small and medium enterprises sector. Fourth, youth skill development. Government continues to invest in youth through technology. To upskill the youth and facilitate job creation, the budget announced the formulation of National Education Policy, rollout of Skill India digital platform, National Apprenticeship Promotion Scheme, and 30 Skill India International Centers. These initiatives will support development of new age skill requirements amongst youth in manufacturing sector. Additionally, digitalization through creation of 100 labs for developing apps using 5G was announced to support range of opportunities specifically in intelligent transport systems and healthcare space. Fifth, green growth. Multiple initiatives were announced for green growth led by allocation of INR 19,700 crore to National Green Hydrogen Mission to reach annual production capacity of 5 MMT by 2030. The Green Credit Program will also incentivize environmentally sustainable and responsive actions by companies. And lastly, stronger push for smartphone manufacturing and pharmaceuticals. While the growth in manufacturing from India will be driven by 6 key sectors that are automotive, electronics, pharma, chemical, industrial machinery and textile, the budget for this year focused more on a few key sectors. With India's smartphones manufacturing sector witnessing an upward trajectory, manufacturers will rejoice with the finance minister's custom duty relief for inputs like camera lenses and lithium-ion batteries to continue for another year in the budget 2023. This will incentivize global manufacturers looking to diversify supply chains and shift to India. For pharmaceutical sector, the budget included incentives for research and innovation in the sector through centers of excellence. Facilities in select ICMR labs will be made available for research by public and private medical facilities. This will bolster the sector further and make them move higher up the value chain in pharmaceuticals related research, development and manufacturing. On the other hand, custom duty cuts and exemptions announced will also drive growth in automotive, chemical, industrial machinery sectors. Overall, the measures announced in the budget seemed to be in the right direction for catapulting manufacturing's contribution in India's GDP. Well, that sums up our video for today. If you liked our initiative, do let us know in the comment section. Please like, share and subscribe. You can reach out to us through our website earthran.co.in or through our YouTube and Instagram page. Thank you very much for joining us. Have a nice day.